The Talking Cheeseheads on cheeseheadtalk.com.
The BCS rankings came out this week, and everybody in Badger Nation is like, what? Wisconsin's not in the top 25 of the BCS rankings, and we don't really know where Wisconsin is. We would assume they're 26th or maybe 27th through 30th or something like that, but we just don't know, right? And so everybody's going crazy. Maybe that's a little strong. Everybody's going, why isn't Wisconsin in the top 25? You know, here they played within a touchdown at Columbus at Ohio State, the fourth-ranked team. They got screwed at Arizona State. But that's the point, right? People see them as a two-loss team. The computers see them as a two-loss team. Even the poll voters who probably weren't up to watch the debacle in the desert, as it's termed, or you know, they may sort of have a vague memory of it, but it's not forefront on their mind, right? So Wisconsin's a two-loss team. They're not in the top 25. The question then becomes, all right, let's say Wisconsin wins out. Will they get there? And if they don't, riots? Probably not. Look, I mean, I believe if Wisconsin wins out and does it convincingly, which I think will happen, actually. I would bet on that happening, that they'll be a top 14 team and they'll probably get into a BCS bowl game. Because we see it every year where you look at the picture and you say, you pick out a team, maybe the 12th ranked team, you say, well, they're not going to lose again. They got quality opponents, and it doesn't work that way. You just have to let it play out. Every single year we panic this time of year. Every single year we actually panic at every turn of the year because of the polls and all this stuff. We say, well, there's like 6 teams that could be in the national championship game, and what ends up happening? Most years you have pretty clear-cut 1 and 2. Other years you have a debate between who should be 2 and 3 and in the national championship game. And the same thing will happen with spot number 14. Look, if Bucky wins and they win the rest of their games, they do it convincingly, I think that the dominoes will fall to where the Badgers are getting the top 14. I see that happening because that's usually what happens, especially if you're riding a hot streak. The human polls, they adjust, things work out. But the other question I have is this. If Wisconsin doesn't get to a BCS game, and I want them to, and I want that fun of going to like the Orange Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl, because we haven't experienced that yet. But even if they don't, let me put it this way. Are you real confident in Wisconsin going to a BCS game and facing a BCS opponent with who they have at quarterback? I don't mean to sit here and rip on Joel Stave, but is he good enough to actually have Wisconsin win a big-time game? Has he been so far? You know, I'd love the chance to get to see him prove it. I really would. I would love the chance to see him prove it. Mike Samuel proved it. remember him? He proved it. Okay, so I'd love to see Joel Stave get that chance. It would be a lot of fun. But if it doesn't happen, is a Florida game like the Capital One Bowl or the Outback Bowl the worst thing that could happen to the program this year, especially if it's another good opponent? Heck, they might face a better opponent in one of those games than they would in a BCS game. So maybe it is better they go to the BCS. But just ask yourself that question. And then, seriously, if you're really upset about Wisconsin not being ranked yet, just calm down. Or, you know, Mike McCarthy would say, keep calm, carry on.
The Talking Cheeseheads on cheeseheadtalk.com.